Well, hey guys, thank you to the person that sent me this video from Madrid. The world is truly waking up, and it's an absolute honour to be in this with you guys, searching for the truth of the times we're in, and certainly the only truth, which is Jesus Christ as Messiah, which all of this points to. This is what we need to realise. And these stories are nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun. And they go back to Babylon. This story, Tammuz, Nimrod, and the Semiramis, Queen of Heaven. And that's the same thing we've got here. This video is a new song by Conchita Wurst. I don't know if you remember her from the Eurovision Song Contest, where she sang the song Rise Like a Phoenix. This artist is called Conchita Wurst. Not only does Conchita mean conception, but in Spanish it's got other meanings such as my little seashell. But if it was said in a degrading kind of way, Conchita means my little pussy. And Wurst means German sausage. So even the name is androgynous. So Conchita Wurst, he, she, just another sign of the times we're in and part of the agenda of the mixing of genders and all sorts of weird stuff that they're doing in the time we're in. Playing here a very weird scene, very reminiscent of the Beyonce, similar to the Michelangelo portrait, Pieta, and Weeping for Tammuz, the Queen of Heaven, the funeral scene. But the weird thing about it here is that she's obviously Isis, but she's got the crown of thorns, and it's kind of inverted. To the Passion of the Christ, you had that same kind of setup with Jesus laying in the arms of Mary, but right here, he, she is wearing the crown of thorns. And I certainly know that they falsely teach in the mystery schools that Jesus is to do with Isis, and it's just weird, but it's totally false, because the real Christ is obviously nothing to do with it. It's just what they've hijacked and changed. Starts off with he, she, veiled, Queen of Heaven, veiled, Tammuz with a cross round his neck, dead in death, asleep, and you'll see that the child wakes up like a sort of resurrection. It's all to do with Nimrod, Tammuz. Very weird. That guy's badge he's got on there has got the seal of Saturn on it. So we've got this whole black-white paradigm again, the same thing again, and essentially he, she is just Lucifer. Let's not beat around the bush. It's Lucifer, Satan thing again. I've heard people who believe in this stuff saying, well, God is Isis to them, and it's about Isis' love for Satan. We are literally in the middle of a Hegelian battle between the fallen. And that's what we're seeing more and more on the TV. We are in a kingdom divided. It's pretty obvious. It's like one big story on a loop that is a kingdom divided. And that's the black and white paradigm, the Hegelian dialectic. Here we have the militarisation. This side is the beast. You see, she's the white, the Isis lamb. And here's the black. Here's the beast. So, notice that the beast side, the militarisation, the heads of the beast, and as I said before, the beast is on earth. The beast is rising now on earth, and that's what they're constantly trying to squeeze you into, yearning for the false saviour, which is Lucifer. So the more they squeeze you with this police state mentality and war and things like this, the more that you will want peace on earth in Lucifer. So here you've got the weaponisation. Notice that many agendas in these things, as always, many agendas, because as in the spiritual, so in the material. So the agendas in this society and in this world reflect the spiritual language that is going on. In that sense, just look here, you've got the group of men being portrayed as the Satan beast side. They're all men. Have you heard sort of feminists in this time going, well, if it wasn't for men ruling this world, if it wasn't for men, then everything would be fine. We just need women leading instead, and all those sorts of things. And that's exactly what you've got here. You've got the demonisation of the black, the men side, which fall in a second, you'll see. And you've got the female aspect of Lucifer being the one that's going to sort everything out. But interestingly, even the female side has become masculine. So what does that's exactly what I see, certainly with some of these things playing out. You get the feminist side in society saying that it's all the problems are down to men, but then they're actually acting a bit like men themselves, and that's exactly what we've got here. But anyway, on a more spiritual, deep level, this is the wedding of the Isis lamb and the wedding of the two pillars, Osiris and Isis, and the merging of black and white, the blurring the lines between black and white. So anyway, these guys are in the void, in the black void, and that has a lot to do with the womb. Well, that is the womb. So on a spiritual level, we see the beast side being raptured, apertured, the camera again. The camera takes a photograph, and it's the oculus, the eye, and the gates. This is all to do with the birthing from the womb. And you notice here very subliminally, I don't know if you can see it, but they flash just there you go. That is literally a split second, and it's the barren land. Of course, she is the barren mother. So definitely about the birth of the abyss and the lamb of Isis lamb, the false Jesus, unleashing hell, unleashing the beast. And yeah, you see that even the transhumanist side is to do with the beast. They've all got sort of robotic masks on. So yeah, in the womb, and we've seen the barren land. We're seeing the gates showing up now, and very subliminal here. You see how they've made that into the moon with her in it. She's the moon goddess, like Diana. It's all the same thing. Aphrodite, Semiramis, Venus, all the same thing. And the ninth gate, to do with the birthing. She's the mother who cannot give natural birth. That's why it's the barren womb. So speaking of the barren mother, in this it's interesting that the womb area is actually robotic, transhuman, like something's had to be implemented to make this possible, because it's the mother that can't give natural birth. Just watch this, this is so creepy. So we've got the lightning bolt appears, the tether, the lightning bolt, Satan falls like lightning, the beast falls like lightning, and it's tethered to the earth, which is what we're on, like the electrical earth, grounded. And so when you see that flash up, the lightning, watch what happens to these guys in the void. Boom, the flash, and they start going down. It's all to do with the birthing of the beast, the Satan coming to the earth, being unleashed, the beast side, maybe through these world leaders. So here we're at the main agenda, as per usual, of this, the birth of the abyss from above. You notice how they're falling from the sky, and it's the perfect storm. The storm clouds have gathered, and it's almost like you've got the thunder and lightning. It's almost like they're falling through the abyss, because you see, I don't know if you can see it on here, but you can see that the whole thing is like it's in water in the womb, and they're coming through it from the sky. So you see what I'm saying? Like it's the judgment coming down to earth, and through the rays of light, the Ra, the ray. fire, water, the storm, rain, the womb, and the sun and red and blue, alchemy, fire, water, the birthing, all of it. He's leaving a trail like he's going through water, and she's watching it all happen. She's actually instigating. She is actually instigating this. It's the lamb, the Isis lamb, unsealing this judgment. You see here with his hands, manipulating it, doing it. And what does Isis do then? Melts the weapons. The mother goddess, the goddess of love. It's the new age of the false love of Lucifer. So Lucifer melting the weapons of the beasts and the false peace. Just as the Bible tells us, there will be a false peace, and it's peace on earth that Lucifer wants to offer people. A false peace. So the black coming to meet the white. Right, so here we get the actual action that's going to take place. So manipulating like sorcery with the hands. See that? It's all being instigated by this one. Boom. Smashing glass. All symbolising the breakout of the womb, and the spiral in the sky, the perfect storm, the eye of the storm. He even sings in this that we'll be dancing in the eye of the storm and lighting up the sky with colours. And this is all to do with Lucifer being the bridge for them. The black meeting the white. The marriage of the two pillars. The birth of the abyss. Look at the waters coming up like similar to coming from the manholes in Noah. It's all to do with the birth of the abyss, and that's the figure that was in her arms at the beginning. That's the Tammuz Nimrod side that's coming down. And of course that story, going back to ancient times, was about incest. It was about the child marrying the son marrying the mother, and that's exactly what this leads to in the end. But she's watching it all happen. She's making it happen. This is the sexual symbology of the male phallic falling. The male phallic, which is the bullet. Of course, war is all down to men, and that bullet falling into it's like milk, in fact, but definitely to do with the conception of this whole thing, and the sexual symbology, totally sexual symbology there. And the waters coming up, just like in Noah, shooting out of the manhole in the ground, the birth of the abyss, the beast coming to earth, and Lucifer saving from the beast, the false battle. There you go, look at this. I mean, you don't need to use your imagination very much, but the phallic of Osiris, sexual symbology, and the black meeting the white here, the wedding, the fire, water, alchemy stuff going on, the wedding of the Isis lamb, the marriage of the two pillars, Isis, Osiris, and obviously the feminine side overcoming the masculine side, which is the total agenda of this new age. And please don't get caught in that hating each other's genders, because it's part of the agenda. And yeah, supposedly this old story, when he marries the incestual marriage, it opens his third eye or something, and it's interesting that the Conchita Wurst side is kissing his third eye there. The feminine dominating the masculine. And the wedding, giving the cross now, as he's grown up, giving the cross like a ring at a marriage. Cup of filth stuff. Towel. The towel. And there you go. That's the whole thing. Just a total false battle between black and white. And don't be fooled by any of it. It's just Lucifer playing saviour. God bless you all. Bye-bye. Which all of this points to, this is what we need to realise, And these stories are nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun, and they go back to Babylon. This story, Tammuz, Nimrod, and the Semiramis, Queen of Heaven, and that's the same thing we've got here. This video is a new song by Conchita Wurst. I don't know if you remember her from the Eurovision Song Contest, where she sang the song Rise Like a Phoenix. This artist is called Conchita Wurst. Not only does Conchita mean so Conchita Wurst, he, she, just another sign of the times we're in, and part of the agenda of the mixing of genders and all sorts of weird stuff that they're doing in the time we're in. Playing here a very weird scene, very reminiscent Inception, but in Spanish it's got other meanings such as my little seashell, but if it was said in a degrading kind of way, Conchita means my little pussy, and Wurst means German sausage. So even the name is androgynous. Well, hey guys, thank you to the person that sent me this video from Madrid. The world is truly waking up, and it's an absolute honour to be in this with you guys, searching for the truth of the times we're in, and certainly the only truth, which is Jesus Christ, his Messiah.